All right, guys. So let's jump into the next long translation passage from stage 11. It is of Cambridge Latin, so Candidati Sulla. And if we remember from the last translation, we know that Sulla was the scriptor, inscriptor, so he was the one who was painting this titulum, the signs. And we know that the two brothers, Marcus and Quartus, have different political views. So let's jump into the first sentence of this, and we can always remember that we're going to mainly focus on the new parts of grammar that we need to talk about for stage 11. So we're going to talk about a lot about intransitive verbs plus the dative. So let's jump into it. Marcus e Willa Wainitz. And this one is Marcus, nominative subject, e Willa. It is an appellate of separation, prepositional phrase. Wainit, perfect tense verb, third person singular. So Marcus from the house came or went. You can translate it as either way. Matter of fact, the word went, I think, comes from wadio. So Marcus went from the house. Solom vidit. So Solom is the accusative direct object, first declension. So it's he saw Sola. Titulum conspexit. Conspexit is another word that basically means it's the same as vidit. He saw or he observed closely. So he, perfect tense verb. Conspexit, titulum, accusative direct object. He saw the inscription, or he saw the sign. Postquam titulum legit iratis erat. Now we know that everything between postquam and this comma is going to be a subordinate clause. We know that postquam is a subordinating conjunction, which means that our main clause is simply iratus erat. Right? So postquam means after, right? Titulum, accusative direct object, the sign, legit, and legit, we get the word legible from this. It's a third person singular perfect tense verb, and it means he read. Iratus, this is an adjective, and it's a predicate adjective here. Angry, erat, it's an imperfect form soon, he was. So it's a sort of Yoda speak there. Angry he was. So after he read the sign, he was angry. Marcus scriptorum valde vituperavit. So nominative subject, accusative direct object. Valde is an adverb, and vituperavit is a perfect tense verb. So Marcus, the sign maker, very greatly he cursed. Or in proper word English, it is Marcus very greatly cursed the sign maker. Rater tuus me ad villam invitavit in Sulla. So this right here, everything between these two quotation marks means that this is direct speech, right? So this is a sentence that he said. So frater is a nominative subject. Tuus is it is a possessive pronoun. Me is the accusative direct object. It's the accusative form with personal pronoun ego. Ad villam is a prepositional phrase, ad plus accusative. And invitavit is a perfect tense verb. And we get the word invite from this. So brother yours, me, to the house, invited. Or in proper word English, in word order in English, your brother invited me to the house. Inquit, sola, said sola. So perfect tense verb, nominative subject. There we go. And then we have another direct speech. Sola is continuing to say this. Frater tuus mihi decum denario stated. So again, we have frater tuus. This is the frater is a nominative subject. Tuus is another possessive pronoun. And it's going with frater. Mihi is a dative. It's an indirect object right there. Mihi is the indirect object going with dative, which is the perfect tense verb, third person singular. And then decum denarius is the accusative direct object. So brother yours, to me, 10 denarii he gave. Or in better word order, your brother gave me 10 denarii. And then we go, we're going to change speakers. So we've got another direct quotation right here. So frater meus est stultior quam asinus Marcus sola respondit. Okay, so this is frater, nominative subject. Meus is another possessive pronoun, right? Est is the main verb. Stultior is a comparative adjective, right? And it is in the nominative because est is a copulate, and it's introducing that. And then quam it's introducing a adverbial clausal comparison with that comparative adjective. It means than, subordinating it. And asinos is going to be in the nominative because it's going to match the case of the thing that is being compared to. And then the main sentence here is Marcos, nominative subject. Sola is a dative indirect object, and respondent is the the main verb of this. It's perfect tense verb. So let's translate it. Brother mine is stupider than an ass or a donkey. Right? Marcus to Sulla responded. Okay, let's put that in proper English word order. So my brother is more stupid or stupider than an ass or a donkey, Marcus responded to Sulla. Okay, let's jump to the next sentence. And this is more direct speech. In villa nostra ego sum dominus, quod sum senior. And here we go. So the first bit is a prepositional phrase. It's in plus ablative, so it's an ablative location, right? Plus this pronoun right there. So it's our house, right? Another possessive pronoun. Ego, right? Nominative subject, personal pronoun. Sum, main verb. Dominus, and this is another nominative because the S is a copulate. So it's a predicate nominative. Quod indicates another adverbial clause that's subordinate. It's a causal clause. So everything between this comma to the end of the sentence is a subordinate clause. Quod, because. Sum, another main verb. Senior, and this is another nominative. It's a predicate nominative that's going with sum, right? So let's translate it. In house, ours, I am the master because I am the older or older. It's a comparative adjective, right? You can tell by that IOR ending. And we get the word senior from this. And it comes from also the same, if we know the word senex, right? It comes from that. So let's put that in proper word order. In our home, I am the master because I am older. Cool. Sulla irrade illam inscriptionem scribe titulum novum. Okay, so Sulla right here is, it looks like a nominative, but it's actually a vocative because it's the yellow case. He's a bit upset now because he saw that inscription that basically differed with his political views. Obviously, politics is still a touchy topic today. It certainly was back then. So Sulla, vocative. Arade is, it's a verb, and we can tell because it's green there, but also because that E ending. That's a specific and special type of verb that I want you to really be able to point out here because it's important. It's an imperative. It's a singular imperative, and we get the word erase from this. So rade illam inscriptionem, and this is the accusative direct object. Illam is a demonstrative pronoun, and inscriptionem is just the accusative noun. Scribe, we've got another imperative verb. Titulum novum, right? So it's a new title, right? A new sign. It's the accusative direct object with scribe. So let's put it all together. Sulla, erase that sign, write a new, or sorry, erase that inscription, write a new sign, write a new message. Okay. Marcus Sulla quindecim denarios dedit. And Sulla's making out like a bandit right here. We discussed last time that 10 denarii was a fair amount of money. Remember, like the average worker would get a couple of denarii a day, maybe one or two. He's just been paid 10, right? And now he's getting another 15. So Marcus, nominative subject, Sullae, dative indirect object. Quindecim denarios, that's going to be the accusative direct object, these two together. Remember that numerals do not decline irregularly. So that's why quindecim doesn't match denarios, which is an accusative plural second declension. Dated is a third person, sorry, pardon me. It is a third person singular. I was about to say third person plural. It's a third person singular perfect tense verb. Right, so Marcus to Sullae, 15 denarii he gave, or in better word order, Marcus gave 15 denarii to Sulla. Placet ne tibi rogavat. And now we remember that ne at the end of placet is an enclitic particle that introduces a neutral question. It's not expecting yes or no. It's neutral. And placet is an impersonal verb. So is it pleasing? Right? Is it pleasing? Tibi, dative. Remember that it's an impersonal verb and it's also intransitive. So is it pleasing to you? Or if we want to translate a little bit more fluidly, does it please you? Right? Rogalit, perfect tense verb, he asked. Me placet. So this is not a question, it's a statement. It is pleasing to me, right? It pleases me. Another intransitive verb plus that dative. Sulla Marco responded. So subject, indirect object, perfect tense verb. Sulla responded to Marcus, right? Sulla post quam inscriptionem errasit, hunc titulum scripsit. Marcus et frater afro fawent. Marcus et frater afro credut. Okay, so that's a lot right there. Sulla, and then everything between postcom and erosit, those between those two commas is a subordinate clause, right? It's a temporal clause. So we know that that's a subordinate conjunction, right? Inscriptionem, accusative direct object. Erosit is a perfect tense verb. And then the rest of the main clause is punctitulum, accusative direct object with a demonstrative pronoun. Scripsit, perfect tense verb. Okay, so let's put it all together. Sulla, after the inscription he erased, this sign he wrote. Or in better word order, Sulla, after he erased this, the inscription, wrote this sign. Right? Marcus et frater, nominative subjects. These are both singular nominative subjects, but they come together to make this perfect, this present tense, third person plural verb. So two singulars make a plural. And phaweo, as we know, takes a dative. So this is where afro is, and it's a second declension dative singular. Right? Even though it's off there, we have to remember that it's like puer. And so it's going to decline with a long O in the dative, as opposed to the third declension, which would be like mercatori with an I. So it's not third declension. Okay, Marcus et frater, again, two nominatives make a compound subject, right? Marcus and frater, two nominatives. Afro, another dative. Well, just call it a direct object, well, dative object. Credunt, and then credeo takes that dative object. All right, so Marcus and the brother favor, affair. Marcus and the brother trust, affair. Cool. About halfway there, guys. We're almost there. Marcus erat laetissimus et fratrum evila vocavit. See, even back then, brothers didn't get along. This is a time-worn and time-proven story. We also remember that the people who founded Rome, Romulus and Remus, they were brothers and they didn't get along. So it's only human, I suppose. So Marcus, nominative subject, erat, imperfect tense verb, laetissimus superlative, predicate, adjective, et fratrem, accusative direct object from this second verb, which is a perfect tense verb, the third person singular, evila, prepositional phrase, ablative of separation. So Marcus was very happy, and the brother from the house he called for. Marcus was very happy and called the brother or his brother from the house, right? Marcus fratri titulum novum ostendit. Nominative subject, dative indirect object, titulum novum, accusative direct object, plus its accompanying adjective, ostendit, perfect tense verb, third person singular. So Marcus to the brother, the new sign he showed. Or Marcus showed the new sign to his brother. Quartus postquam titulum legit erratus erat. So nominative subject, everything between postquam and legit is going to be a subordinate clause. It's a temporal clause, obviously. So subordinating conjunction, accusative direct object, third person singular, perfect tense verb. Pardon me. Eratus, predicate adjective. Erat, imperfect tense verb, right? So Quartus, after the sign he read, angry he was. So Quartus, after he read the sign, was angry. Quartus Marcum pulsavit. Best line, absolutely. One of the best lines in Cambridge. I'm joking. Of course, I don't condone fraternal violence. So Quartus, nominative subject, accusative direct object, pulsavit, third person singular perfect tense verb. So Marcus, the brother, so Quartus, Marcus punched, or Marcus, Quartus punched Marcus. Marcus is the direct object. He receives the punch. Tum, so that's going to be an adverb, right? Fratres, nominative subject. In villa, it's a prepositional phrase, in plus ablative. Pugnabant, imperfect tense verb, third person plural. So then the brothers in the street were fighting, or then the brothers were fighting in the street. Marque quarte disiste, intro ite clamavit sola, concilium optimum habeo. Okay, Marque and Quarte, they're both second declensions, and in the vocative, we see that they have the E ending, so he's directly addressing them. And desistite, right? That is an imperative plural, whereas desiste would be imperative singular. Desistite is the imperative plural. In the same way that we see intro is an adverb, it means inside, and ite is another imperative plural. And E is the imperative singular. From eo, it means to go, so go inside. Clamavit, third person perfect, singular verb. Sulla, nominative subject. Concilium, accusative direct object. Optimum, accusative adjective, habeo, present tense, first person singular verb. And that will be Marcus Gordus, stop, go inside, shouted, Sulla, concilium, or the advice, the best I have. So I have the best advice, or I have very excellent advice, if that's how you'd like to translate that superlative adjective. Okay, postquam fratres Willam intraverant Sulla celeriter rem confecit. Postquam, everything between postquam and intraverant, is a subordinate clause, right? It's a temporal subordinate clause, right? So postquam, subordinate conjunction, fratres, nominative subject of the subordinate clause, willam, accusative direct object, intraverant, third person, plural, perfect tense verb, Sulla, nominative subject, celeriter is an adverb, rem is an accusative direct object, and confecit is a perfect tense verb, third person singular, right? So let's translate it. After the brothers, the house, they entered, Sulla, quickly, the thing, completed. Rem confecit, by the way, is glossed in your book as he finished the job. As usual, we don't translate race directly as thing whenever we can avoid it. We try and make it fit in the context. So let's put it in proper English word order. After the brothers entered the house, Sulla quickly finished the job. Duos titulos in muro scripsit. So duos titulos, accusative direct, accusative adjective, accusative direct object, noun. In muro, locatival ablative prepositional phrase. Scripsit, perfect tense verb, third person singular. So he wrote two titles, two signs on the wall. Right? Dum fratres e villa vocabat. Adverb, nominative subject, ablative prepositional phrase, ablative separation, we'll call it perfect tense verb. So then the brothers from the house he called. And pardon me, I think I said that fratres was the nominative subject. It is not. It is third declension, which means that it could be nominative or it could be accusative. In this case, it is the accusative direct object of vocabat. And we know that because vocabat has to be a third person singular. And Sulla is the one doing the calling. So then he called the brothers from the house. Scriptor fratribus murum ostendis. So nominative subject, dative plural, third declension, accusative direct object, third person plural, or third person singular perfect tense verb. So the painter, the sign maker, to the brothers, the wall he showed. Or the sign maker showed the wall to the brothers. Ecce is an interjection, just means look, behold. Marcus hunc titulum vidit. Nominative subject. Then accusative, a demonstrative pronoun, going to titulum, which is the accusative direct object, noun. Vidit, perfect tense verb, third person singular. Marcus, this title he saw. So Marcus saw this sign, right? Marcus afro fawet. Afer est candidatus optimus. Okay. Nominative subject, a dative object of an intransitive verb, phaweo. Phaweo is a third person singular present tense verb. Afer, nominative subject, est main as a present tense verb from sum. Candidatus optimus is nominative or predicate, so nominative, predicate, nominative, plus its superlative adjective that's modifying it. So it's Marcus favors Afer. Afer is the best candidate. Okay. Euge, this is another interjection. It means hooray. Hic titulus me valde delectat. Nominative subject plus a demonstrative a pronoun that is modifying it, right? This title, this sign, me, accusative direct object, valde, adverb, and then present tense third person singular verb. So this sign me greatly delights, or in better word order, this sign greatly delights me or pleases me. Inquit Marcus, subject and verb, says Marcus, or said Marcus. It actually could be perfect or it could be present tense. In this context, it probably is perfect tense because a lot of the other verbs have been perfect tense. Quartus alterum titulum in bureau conspexit. Okay, nominative subject, accusative direct object plus its accusative adjective. In bureau, locatival ablative, prepositional phrase, conspexit, perfect tense verb, third person singular. So Quartus, another sign on the wall he saw. So Quartus saw another sign on the wall. Quartus holoconio fawet. Okay. Holoconius est candidatus optimus. Nominative subject, dative going with this in intransitive verb, faweo, right? And faweo is the main verb there. Holoconius, nominative subject, est, copulate verb. Candidatus is a predicate nominative plus the accompanying superlative adjective. So Quartus favors Holoconius. Holoconius is the best candidate. Quartus quoque laetissimus erat. And this is nominative subject. Quoque is an adverb. Laetissimus is a superlative adjective going with erat, which is the copulate verb. So Quartus also, very happy he was. So Quartus also was very happy. All righty. Then right down here, we have fratres Sullae trigenta denarios dederunt. Right, so fratres is the nominative subject, Sullae is the dative singular, trigenta denarios is the accusative direct object. Again, trigenta is the numeral, it doesn't decline regularly, but it goes with denarios. And dederunt is a third person plural perfect tense verb. So the brothers to Sulla, 30 denarii they gave, or in better word order, the brothers gave 30 denarii to Sulla. Sulla ridebant. So nominative subject, imperfect tense verb, Sulla was laughing, or we could just say Sulla laughed. It was laughing, so it's a little bit weird. That imperfect, reflecting the imperfect there was a little bit weird. So we'll just say Sulla laughed. Postquam Marcus et Quartus discesserunt, tortium titulum addidit. And that is everything between postquam and discesserunt is a subordinate conjunction. It's a temporal, subordinate clause. It's a temporal one. Postquam is a subordinate conjunction, right? After. Marcus et Quartus, two nominative singulars, which are the subject of discesserunt, the third person plural, perfect tense verb. Tertium titulum is the accusative direct object plus the adjective tertium. That is it means third, right? And then addidit is going to be the main verb there. It's a perfect tense verb. So it means postquam, after Marcus and Quartus departed, discesserunt, a third title, tertium titulum, addidit, he added. So he added a third title. And what he said is, Marcus et Quartus sunt liberalissimi. And considering that he just got roundabout, I think that was, if I counted correctly, 55 denarii, which is more than a month's pay for most people. This makes perfect sense. Marcus et Quartus, nominative subjects, coordinated. Sunt, third person singular, third person plural, present tense verb, are. Liberalissimi is a superlative adjective, predicate adjective with that copulate verb. And it means very generous, or the most generous, right? So Marcus and Quartus are very generous. Okay, guys, we've gotten all the way through Sulla. We've got a few more translations for stage 11. Hopefully that is still keeping your interest, and we'll see you in the next video with the next recording.